I think it's recording now.
Yes, I got a message on my end.
A day. Welcome to my death portfolio. Ah. Okay, show it. Ugh, I said share. Is it sharing? I think it's sharing.
It says that you've started sharing your screen, but it's just spinning. It's just slow. Okay.
Oh. Do you see it?
Yes.
Okay. So this is page 1, and it outlines what I think a good death means to me, what my greatest hopes and fears are about the end of my life, what values I want people to use to guide my decisions. And yeah, do you want me to read them to you?
No, I mean, do we have to? I mean, I'm on my phone, so it's a small screen. Do we have to acknowledge them that we've read them?
Well, I think the whole point of showing you this is that you give me feedback on what I've put, so if it could be useful to
Okay,
you.
well then give us a little synopsis of each of the points then. Because Dad can't see them from where he's sitting. I mean, he sees my phone, but he can't read them.
Okay, well, my answer to what a good death means to me, I said, it means my life was not lived in vain and that I left the world better than I found it, and those I have surrounded myself with during the dying process and ultimate death respected me enough to honor my final wishes and allow me to have a dignified, peaceful death. Regarding the dying process specifically, having a good death also means that the cost of care versus the benefit of care was thoughtfully considered right until the very end. Cost in that regard does not mean strictly financial, it also refers to the emotional and physical cost to myself and those around me. A holistically reviewed death is a good one to me. And
Yeah.
then to my greatest hopes and fears about the end of my life, I said my greatest hope about the end of my life is that it comes at a time that is right for me and everyone around me. If I'm sick, I want it to be enough, quick enough to not suffer, but long enough that everyone gets the closure they may want or need. Even though we learned in class closure doesn't exist, but for the sake of other people, whatever you think is closure, that's closure to you.
Yeah.
If it is sudden, I hope to not be in pain and know that anything was ever even happening. My biggest dream is to die in my sleep peacefully. If it is sudden, I hope that it is something that can be easily found through medical testing, as I want there to be no what ifs surrounding my passing. My biggest fears consist of everything that is the antithesis to my hopes, which include pain, suffering, lack of closure for those who I care about most.
Okay.
Then the values that will guide the decisions I'm going to make in this portfolio, or have made because it's done. The values I will use to guide me in the creation of this portfolio are dignity and quality of life. At this point in my life, faith is not something that necessarily drives my decision making in most cases, so I will remain steadfast in using personal beliefs and scientific fact to formulate my personal wishes. And according to an article we read in class, and I quoted it, but I'll read it for you too. The American Medical Association, which is the largest professional group of physicians in the U.S., has a statement on end of life care that focuses on doctors' duties to alleviate suffering and listen carefully to patients' needs. Every person, the AMA writes, should expect, quote, the opportunity to discuss and plan for end of life care, end quote. That includes treatment preferences, worst case scenarios, the chance to make a formal living, will, or advance directive for care, and help with creating these documents so that they will be useful when needed. Patients should know their wishes will be honored no matter what, whether they want to, quote, communicate with family and friends, to attend to spiritual needs, to take one last trip, to finish a major unfinished task in life, or to die at home or another place of personal meeting, end quote. The AMA says patients deserve to die, quote, trustfully or trustworthy. No, hold on. The AMA says patients deserve. It's hard to read.
No, you're
Um.
fine. The dog just sneezed.
Oh, bless you. Patients deserve trustworthy assurance that dignity will be a priority in death. So that's the quote from the article, and those are things that I want people to keep in mind if I'm dying.
Okay.
Do you have any thoughts or feelings about that?
No, I mean I agree with all of it. I mean, it makes complete sense.
What about you, Dad?
It's very idealistic. I don't agree with very much of it at all. And I think that the only thing that you can do, I mean, this is all written as if you have any control over death. You could die right now. But the only thing that you can control and you can do is live every moment as if it's your last.
Well, maybe
That's
I
the
didn't
only,
introduce this project well. The purpose of this is my wishes for when I die. So those are things that I want
yeah,
kept in
I heard
mind
that. I
for other
heard
people.
that. Thank you for reiterating, but I did hear that.
Love you too.
Okay.
Anyways, my advance directive, it wants to go. It has y'all's information and my little statement of the people listed above are those I grant medical power of attorney to in the event I am unable to make decisions completely and competently on my own accord. My mom and dad are allowed to make decisions together in the event that they wish to do so. My sister is also allowed to be included in these conversations should she wish to be. However, she should not be allowed to make any decisions on my behalf alone unless both of my parents are deceased. In the event that one person is unable to be contacted when needed in order of preference, the next in line may make decisions until the preferred contact is able to step in and resume decision making. And so
Okay.
I had to fill out like worksheets of what I wanted
Yeah.
and answer things. So all of that is there. Because your phone is dying, I won't waste a bunch of time on those, but those
No,
are
you're fine. The dementia prevention thing is interesting.
provisions. I'll click the link and they're there. So if you don't have the link to the article, you can still see them or the link to my
No,
whatever.
it's fine. You don't have to you don't have to go over it. I just think it's interesting that, it's something that was included because I mean, we're seeing so much more Alzheimer's.
Yeah. And that just pretty much had to do with what kind of care I want to receive if X, Y, and Z situations. So,
Yeah, I get it.
and then my next thing is I had to answer questions about in different sections of what I wanted. So, do I want to enter hospice at home? My preference is hospice versus like being in assisted living because I don't want. I don't like assisted living. I just don't like the idea of it. I don't like what we learned about in class. I would just rather be in hospice in my house. I know that's more expensive, but y'all got money. Um, at what point would I consent to be going to a dedicated hospice or assisted living? And I reiterated that I don't want assisted living. Hospice is fine, but I don't want assisted living. And then I took a little picture of all the things that I'd want to be buried with, which are my pillow pets
Oh gosh.
and my little bunny and my Aggie
Got
ring,
us
which is on the little
22 yeah. 20 I love that it says at 22. Yeah.
I like my stuffed animals.
I
And then
know at 22, yes. But you referenced that.
I didn't bring them over Thanksgiving, and that was a rough time. So, and the first time in 22 years that I haven't slept with stuffed animals, and I did not have a good time. Then I also have my little scrapbook. That's
Uh-huh.
the scrapbook that I'm working on. So I think it would be nice to be cremated with those things because
Your
they have
ring
things
wraps.
to care about.
I gotta love it.
Mhm.
22-year-old Hannah. I got it.
Yeah. Then what's something else? Visitors, I mean, if I'm alert and oriented, I'd prefer to not be in a room. But if there are people that want to come see me, that's fine. Just like, I don't want people there all the time. Strangers, y'all can be there, but I don't want everybody there all the time. Then I said, what do I want to have done with my body? I want to be cremated. And if I'm not married, I want to sit on your shelf, like an elf on a shelf.
Okay.
And I want to be in your living room or in a little corner somewhere so that I'm in a room where people are in a lot of the time. I don't know. I think that would be nice. And if y'all are dead and I can't be an elf on a shelf in your house, I want to be an elf on the shelf in my husband's house. So, um, do I have money to dispose of my body in the way I want? Eventually, yeah, but at 22, no. Take it from my savings if you don't want to pay for it. I've got what, 11 grand? Can't really do much with that. But I'll probably have a living trust when it comes to financials. That's the next section. Y'all will do everything. Y'all are, yeah, it's really simple answers.
What is the virtual world? What is that?
Well, first question in this section is what is going to happen to your virtual identity? And I said, more than likely, it will just fade into oblivion. Most of my username and passwords are saved in various Google account password managers. So if people want to delete accounts or get access to certain things, they're more than able to do so. And also, I have things written down, like passwords, in my little notebook, and I took a picture of it so y'all know what it looks like.
Mhm.
And then what should be done with the files on your computer, tablet, or phone? I said I would hope my parents would want to go through them when they felt like the time was right, but they can do whatever they want with them. It's not like I'm going to be here to care what happens. If it were me and the roles were reversed, I would probably do my best to put things on a hard drive. And then other notes, that wasn't a section that was required, but it was something that I saw on the internet and I investigated and it was real. And so I said, whatever you do, don't make me into any kind of AI anything. Don't make me a bot. Don't use don't try and use my name or likeness for anything post-mortem, and don't try to make me a hologram. Don't be weird. The link below is to an article of why I'm doing this. Don't be weird. And the article is to an NPR article about how a family used someone who was murdered, like their family member that was murdered, and they created an AI avatar of him, and then the sister of the guy created a script that was then made into a video and shown in court. And that was used, and the judge gave a heavier sentence because of that.
I think I remember hearing something about that.
So, with that in mind, don't make me a chatbot because people are doing that. Don't make me
That's
an
very
AI
weird.
anything. Let me die. I don't care if it's something you want. I think it's weird, and I will come back to haunt you if that's something I can do.
It is weird.
Also, don't put me on a t-shirt.
Okay.
Please. Don't put me on a t-shirt. Will you leave notes or messages for anybody? I said no, because ain't nobody gonna go watch that. And then, do I want a memorial? I said something online like an obituary is fine, but nothing crazy, please. Pictures you can use. I put in a little PowerPoint, and that's pretty much just my grad pictures. So. And then beyond personal messages, what's the legacy I wish to see to leave? This could be a core value that you want your family to remember, a favorite recipe, a piece of advice you live by, or a story you want to make sure is passed down. How will you preserve this legacy? And I said, assuming I end up walking the stage at A&M, I wouldn't mind leaving behind a scholarship for female military affiliated students trying to receive a degree in STEM through the Association of Former Students. My first preference would be daughters of U.S. Marines who are out-of-state students. Then other branches who have out-of-state students could be chosen, assuming that an in-state couldn't be. And then preference should also be given to in-state daughters of U.S. Marines, and finally, in-state daughters of service members. At no point should the scholarship ever be given to a man. And I linked where you can make like an endowment.
Okay. 22U. All right.
Men have rights, women don't. And there are a whole lot of scholarships for men specifically because I found them thinking I could apply, and it's like men only. I'm like, don't agree. So, women in STEM. Anyways, what about your classes and jobs should someone tell your bosses or peers about your death? I said, peers maybe, close friends absolutely. I know I'd be annoyed if I knew somebody for years and they found out I passed away from a Facebook post. And then I said, everybody else can kick rocks because it doesn't matter. I'm not going to show up to work. So why do you matter? Then I said, with information dispersal, if I were incapacitated or died today, would your loved ones be able to locate your important information or know how to handle your affairs? And then I just basically said, all my stuff is with you in a filing cabinet. So
Mm-hmm.
that's all that matters. And then emotional preparedness. How would you like your close loved ones to be supported in their grief? Are there specific friends or community resources that you would hope they turn to? And I said, I want my loved ones to feel surrounded by care or gentle, steady care rather than left to carry everything alone. I hope that they lean on friends who listen to them without rushing them and that they can find comfort in communities, whether it's a faith circle, a book club, or somebody that can sit with them and give them space, essentially. And then I'd want them to reach out to grief counselors and know that they don't have to move on quickly if that's something they wanted to do. But obviously, I can't tell you what to do. I'm dead. Then, is there anything you want to say about how they should handle feelings of grief, anger, or regret? And then I just said, like, let them exist. Don't try to kill yourself grieving for me. And then last question, reflecting on your own life, what do you consider to be your greatest accomplishment or proudest moment? What are your biggest regrets? And then I said my biggest accomplishment is being the director, or one of my proudest moments, I would say. I would say overall my greatest accomplishment will be in, I don't know, 2 weeks. But right now,
Less
my
than.
proudest moment is getting to be the director of philanthropy for AOPI. And I said because it was an elective position, so receiving it in the first place proved to me that I was wanted. Then being able to raise money, I flexed. I wrote my resume essentially. So, and also I wrote the fact that I did it in a semester where I had health problems, and then I took 15 hours, got a distinguished student. All of that was a good time. And then I wrote, my regrets are mostly about silence, the chances I didn't take, the words I held back, and the moments I kept myself small. If I could leave a final message, it would be to take pride, and it would be that pride and regret both teach us something. One reminds us of our strength, and another of our unfinished business. And so my proof will be this recording, and then I will analyze it. And then my overall affection will happen after this, too. So,
Is this the final project for this class?
yeah.
There's no final to take?
Nope.
Okay.
Is there anything that you think I should change?
Well, no, I would never tell you to change your own stuff.
Well, the
So.
point is, this would supposed to be useful for you. So that's what my professor said. So
Oh,
is there
yeah,
anything that
no,
I
I'm
would do or could
no,
do
I
to change it?
no, no, no. I mean, I think you answered the questions and, we would have direction on how you wanted your, body to be handled and your worldly possessions. So, yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it there.
What about you, Dad? Everybody holds their breath.
I'll already be dead, so you'll have to be writing that for somebody else.
Okay, well, Mister, what if you die tomorrow?
All right. Anything else from us?
No, that's it.
Okay.
Unless you have other thoughts.
I got the red light on my phone, so.
Okay. Well, thanks
All
for
right. Get
humoring
it
me, I
done.
guess.
Get it turned in. Looks good.
Love you.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.